Hey guys, this is Skullgrin, and today we'll be reviewing Power of the Primes Dinobot Slug. Well, not Slag anymore because the term is an offensive term in England. There's art of combined mode for Volcanicus. Then back here, let's see what it says there. Dinobot Slug. How will the hot-headed Dinobot warrior wield the power of the primes? And then we see prime armor, robot mode, Triceratops, 12 steps transformation. And here he is wielding the power of a prime master, Micronus, with his chest shield thingy. Micronus, Power Swap, Vector Prime, Time Traveler, and Leads Maximo Trickster. Okay, so now we'll get to the toy. So it's true that they changed your name from Slag to Slug? Oh, me Slag. Me still Slag, and if anyone say anything else, me burn. So you don't mind being called a Briz hoe? And stuff like that? Me not think about it that deeply. But slag's supposed to mean melted metal, not hoe. Me not backhoe. Me not farming vehicle. Me slag. Okay, that's slag it is. Slag it is. Slag it is. Okay, so here we have the robot mode and the card. So first we'll look at the card. Dinobot Slug, not Dinobot Slag, not a British hoe, whatever. Even though Slag should have meant molten metal, but what can we do, right? It is what it is. Alpha Trion Slug uses his strength to stop conflict, not incite it. Doesn't sound much like Slag, does it? I guess that's him with the wisdom of Alpha Trion. And now onto the figure. So, anyways, Slag can, first of all, let's look at front to back. I am not calling him Slug. I don't fucking care. Slag it is, and that's Slag it will be. So what his back looks like without the fist thingy. And the front, red plastic, metallic grayish silver plastic, gunmetal paint for the face, red eyes, clear plastic for the dino head with gold on the inside, Autobot symbol over here, gold feet, paint application made to look like the stickers on the original toy on both legs, and black paint over here, Autobot symbol on the forehead there, red eyes on both ends there. He has ball jointed shoulder articulation. There we go. So he can dance if he wants to, and whatever. Swivel joint on the shoulder here, where the connecting to the bicep. Elbow joint. Fist doesn't have any joint, but it can go in like that. There's also a nice gunmetallic paint on the thigh, which leads into a silver ball jointed piece. And it can go up, it can go like this, knee joint, ball joint, swivel. There's even some silver paint over here, which is interesting. That actually looks pretty cool. Silver paint for the piece over here, gold paint inside. Tailpiece has gold paint on the inside over here. See? Well, we can check it out better when we transform him. Yeah, so gold over there, like the other one. I'm a little disappointed though that they only painted the gold halfway. I'm not sure if it's based on the original toy or not.
it's cool here, like it has circuit tempo detailing. Then the other side it doesn't have it. Makes it kind of feel a little odd, but well, I don't know why. But anyways, overall, I mean, I'm personally impressed with them. Maybe some people might not like everything about these. Oh, I forgot the waist joint. There we go. Yeah. And of course, where the combiner peg is. So, anyways, I'm personally really impressed. This is my first Dinobot, and I'm very happy with it. Like, I mean, they don't use this type of metallic-y silver paint plastic anymore on toys, and I'm impressed by that. And some people have said that they don't like the clear heads for the dinosaurs, the clear parts with the gold paint, but I think it looks pretty good. I actually like it. I like the effect it gives. It adds more depth to the toy. They could have simply had just designed them without this type of detailing, and so to me, I think it's nice. Like it actually looks like circuits that are covered over with some sort of maybe metallic glass, bulletproof glass or something like that, like the original toys. And I always felt that that was a nice feature on the Dinobots. So considering the budget and price cuts that Hasbro tends to do and tendency for hollow parts, these guys are pretty good for the price point. I mean, if you only wanted to get Dinobots for like around $20, somewhere between there. I mean, they're $23 in Canada. They're probably 16 or 17 in the States. I would say that this is worth it unless you were a hardcore MP collector who only wants to get like the MP versions. But if you either couldn't afford the MP or you just don't feel right about plunking $100 on a toy and you wanted something that was decent, these things are perfect. They might not be ideal to everyone, but in my opinion, they're perfect for what they are. It's a good figure. It looks nice. I kind of wish that other Transformers that were supposed to have a metallic silver color would be done like this. I mean, usually a lot of Megatrons in the past few years, well, at least the Combiner Wars one was painted all in silver, but his Titan Returns version was just in that creamy gray plastic, when they could have used maybe a lighter shade of this type of plastic in order to detail him, and it would have looked awesome. And so let's see, I didn't get into the gun. Gun is pretty nice, has lots of molded in detail. The hollowed parts are not that offensive as they could have been, except for maybe over here. This feels a little too hollow. They could have maybe added something there. They balanced it out pretty well. It's molded well on both sides, when usually some guns are not done that way. I mean, I know that for Titan Returns Hardhead and Quake, the gun doesn't have full molding on both sides. Like, see here it has molded detail, and there it does not. But this is consistent on both sides. Even I think Octane's gun from Titan Returns is inconsistent on one side compared to the other, and that lacks a bit of detail. But this is pretty much perfect. I'd only complain about that hollow little piece over there. Like if they just made it maybe more pronounced to not make it take away from the gun so much. But that beautiful molded and pipe detailing is good. It doesn't make it feel too hollow like it could have been. And of course there's the groove over there for an open barrel on the gun, which is very nice. I'm glad that Hasbro does that these days. And so you can pose them with the gun in hand like that if you want. You can put it on the side of his forearm like an arm cannon if you so wish. And you can also store it on the back like this. There we go. And the fist engine, which makes a great backpack for him. You can also store weaponry on the back. You can put the cannon gun on the back over there like this, which is excellent. And you can get any other gun from any other toy and store it on there like this. See, there we go. And you can also probably, well, you can't really do it that great. You can even put the gun on the front over here if you wanted, but it wouldn't look right in robot mode. And what I like doing especially though is I like using the fists as engine guns. Kind of like almost like a Turbo Master. Kind of almost makes me wish that Hasbro had thought about adding more paint detail onto the guns and maybe making them more pronounced. Like, I guess that because it fits the Dinobot theme, the fist engine spikes should be gold, but the hands should be black because most of the Dinobots have black hands. Otherwise, I would have suggested metallic silver. There's a missed opportunity of making the engine plate just completely clear without painting any gold color underneath, which is fine in a sense. Like, you could think of it like an open cockpit window, I guess, but I feel like if they had, since it's supposed to also be a gun, they should have painted this side in gold like the rest of the toy and left this piece clear so they could continue that effect. And of course, like I said, you could take this out, make it a gun, and so he has an extra gun at the very least, right? And there, boom, engine cannon. Pew, 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 pew. Or like some sort of ruined bracer, you know, like something like a spike weapon that he can hit people with. I guess you can also make an oversized claw weapon if you want, right? Or he could just go to a baseball game, right? You know. But anyways, yeah, like power fist. And of course, he can take a Prime Master, like my Cronus Prime over here, and put it in as an engine, as a power-up engine for his power fist. The power fist. And there we go, like that. I think that using this as a gun works a bit better than it does on Jazz. I kind of feel Jazz sort of had the problem that the shoulder joint doesn't hold and it falls, so he couldn't carry the weight of the engine in his arm. And for the Dinobots, it looks better. It actually kind of looks almost like if you were getting a combiner set and getting an extra weapon that the character could use, and helps to kind of give that feel of an upgrade, like as if we got a Power Master upgrade of the Dinobots, where they get like an extra backpack weapon that becomes a fist, which is kind of reminiscent of toys like Monstructor and how the fist hands were guns. And it's not as obtrusive as it was on Combiner Wars, where the gun stuck out right here. Instead, it's like, you know, you just have two engine vents here, which you could pretend are a gun if you want. It might lose the ability to be a gun as a fist, but it kind of looks a little bit better in my opinion. And the double opposable thumbs are also great for weapon storage or for switching which side you want the gun to be on. Hands to be on, sorry. And you can put this here like that, so that way he can mount it like that. And of course, another nice feature is that you can put these on the side like this, and you can either, I guess, treat it like it's a power up for their arm, like, you know, like super strength or something like that, or you can switch it around and make it like a giant fist the same way like when he's holding it in the hand. So it's kind of like becomes a power fist, I guess. I personally like the idea of these being mounted more on the arm than I do having them on the stomach. I feel like the shield arm thing is weird. Unfortunately, you can't put the thumb there because it doesn't go because of the foot, dinosaur foot. So can't really make much of a power fist, right? you know. But I guess like you could probably treat it like a shield or something, right? And that's another thing too. You can probably like make it like a shield or a force field generator. You can use your imagination for all kinds of possibilities, right? After all, this is the power of the primes, right? And of course, on the flak jacket, at least he has a 5mm peg hole. Jazz had just like a weird slot, which requires, I think, like the thumbs to hold it in. But this guy doesn't. You could just peg it in and it goes. And it looks a bit nicer than it does on Jazz. It's still obtrusive. It still stands out a bit too much. Like, you know, I guess like it's supposed to be like a power-up flak jacket or a core power-up. I would prefer, in a sense, that the Titan Masters would have just directly had connected to the figure instead of through the engine in cases like this, like on the chest. I just don't think it looks great. But, you know, it's all right. It's not too bad. It's still kind of cool. But I prefer it on the arm. I prefer that. I feel it just looks more intuitive. It just looks more cool. You know, there we go. Power up. But it's to the side and it doesn't look strange. It looks a lot cooler over there. And we could put it back onto the back if we want. Like this. Power up. Me, Slag, filled with power. And I prefer kind of using these plates as on the chest like this. Like kind of treating them like a Power Master engine. I would feel that that would look more, you know, small and intuitive, like a power chip, you know. I prefer that. The only shame with this guy so far, like when it comes to robot mode, is the lack of a sword. At least he has the gun, but no sword. But pretty much considering that Hasbro is trying to pull things according to a budget and giving us decent affordable deluxes, I can forgive it. But it's still kind of sad, you know, like every Dinobot needs to have a sword no matter what. But, you know, he didn't really show the sword that much in the cartoons. It's mostly Grimlock, I guess, that would be sewn with a sword. Slag would mostly be sewn with his rocket launcher. So in that case, it's kind of actually forgivable. And now on to transformation. To beast mode. So we lift up the jaw, put the fist inside. This is really my first time transforming him, so you guys will have to bear with me a bit. Put the other fist over here. See, they kind of learned from Skullcruncher, I guess. The tail goes onto the back now and covers the opening there, so it's less hollow. But I'm a little confused how this comes out. There we go. There's a swivel piece here. Honestly, there's even a heel strut on the inside, which is controlled by the leg. That's pretty... Oh, you can move it without the leg too, even though. There we go. See? But it comes down when you move this. That's actually pretty interesting. I like that. At least he's not as hollow as he could have been. They actually dealt with some problems and issues that people have with these figures. They compensated by adding hollow openings there, probably to save plastic and to just show the engineering so people could see how it transforms. But they added a piece here and this to go in. That's pretty impressive. I mean, if Skullcruncher had been like that, that would have been amazing. Even though it's an open cavity over here, but it's pretty cool. At least like the tail's not hanging off to the side and you don't see this hollow space because it goes in like this. Boom. Clever engineering in my opinion. These are at least a big improvement to Combiner Wars. They don't feel as boring. I kind of feel a bit disappointed that I got Dreadwind first because even though he is a very awesome retool, he kind of has this feel of feeling too much like the early Combiner War toys with simple transformations, lack of complex ingenuity and everything. These guys make up for it, and they actually make the line feel fresh and new despite the combination gimmick, because they're kind of a huge improvement. I'm honestly really impressed. I mean, at least there's a challenge to the transformation and there's some extra steps. It's not simply just legs go into back with nothing else, you know, like at least the tail goes somewhere and there's some other parts that move and change. So they really did an improvement. Surprisingly, even this thigh joint has a knee joint here, just like this, which I'm shocked because they could have just made it a static joint and they chose not to. This is bolted in, so you can't really, like, you can't move it with a ball joint, but at least that makes it more solid. It's fascinating that that piece moves. There's a bit of a hollow end over here, probably to save plastic. Underneath, undercarriage, you can still kind of see that it's a robot. But hey, you know, the original toy was like that too, so whatever. But this is impressive. I kind of feel that this silver paint takes away from the cohesiveness of the metallic gray. But I'm not sure if the original Slag was also like that, so I'm not really going to judge it much. Let's see. The horns can move. Mouth moves, but because of the way it's designed, and this is probably one of the only detractions, if it had a double hinge joint, they could have fixed that, but they probably would then have to sacrifice the gimmick. You could probably have less of a problem there, but I guess you can just do this if you want an open mouth without it looking stupid. The horns move, which is a nice feature. I don't know if they're soft plastic or rubber. It's hard to tell, honestly. Yeah. And so overall with the beast mode, I think it's pretty good. Maybe it kind of suffers from... I'm not sure if you can lift the Triceratops head a bit or something. That's kind of like the only thing that takes away from it, in my opinion. It just feels so slanted down onto the body, and that kind of makes it feel a little odd, but otherwise it's all right. I guess, like, you could either not like the fact that the horn is not painted with metal on the inside because it's a solid plastic piece, and some people might not like the clear. I personally like it. I think it looks cool. I think it adds a lot of depth to the figures and gives them an awesome way of having detail and not feeling as boring as other toys. Like, kind of adding something new to a Transformer figure, which nods to an older gimmick. So I like it. I feel like it makes them a little more competitive with any third-party offerings that there might be. And the gun, you can put over here like that if you want. There we go, shy cannon. Or you can even though it looks silly, you could put it there. What I really like is you could put his cannon underneath there, and you can also open the mouth a bit, which kind of looks cool, you know. It's like, yeah, you know, you die today, Decepticon. Only thing, like I said, the mouth looks funny. Might not look great when you're trying to make him look like he's shooting out fire from his mouth. But this is a nice placement for the gun. It can turn. You can't post it all the way in though. There, it's a little bit. And you can also, of course, put the gun up here, which I think is the best placement. That looks excellent. Very nice. I never owned the original Slag, so I don't really know how to compare if some of the features here are actually a general improvement. And of course, the engine cannon, you can put it on the side here if you want. I think that if you wanted to store the gun on the side, that's when putting it on the side engine would probably look great. Otherwise, the best place for the gun, for the engine, is the backpack. Only that it's kind of, because of the feet here, you can't place it backwards like this. You have to place it like this, which kind of looks weird if not for the fact that you could pretend that this is a gun. So that kind of fixes that problem right there. You can put it like this, so it looks like he's running into battle with a giant cannon on his back. And you can also store the guns on here like that. So, you know, it's cool. It looks awesome. I like it. So I'm really satisfied with this. I feel that for the $23, it's perfectly worth it. It's an excellent figure. It can compete with third party pretty excellently at a decent retail price. That's affordable for younger people and collectors who are on a budget, and for those who prefer collecting mainline to third party. If you probably wanted something more complex with more detail and paint, you would probably choose to go with third party instead. But I would still highly recommend this. If you're more of a play collector, this is excellent and perfect. Like, I like fiddling with my figures. I don't just buy them for display. And that's where like mainline is better for me. And I feel that Hasbro did an excellent job in creating a balanced product that might have to sacrifice one or two things in order to give you something, but still is decent and still offers a gimmick at the same time. You might not even like the combined forms, but here it works pretty, like, considering how they engineered things, they're a big improvement from Combiner Wars. And the transformations are more complex, and they still manage to make limbs. So I would argue that this is a huge, vast improvement to Combiner Wars. And much better than also Jazz or Dreadwind, in my opinion. Like, Dreadwind has some nice retooling, but this figure here actually fixes a lot of problems that people had with Combiner Wars. Now we'll move on to making the limb. We'll probably just make an arm or a leg or something. And then after that, review is over, kids. Okay, so we do that. I don't know how this would work here because I never transformed him yet. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm guessing that this piece here also moves out. Ah, there we go. We got it now. It does open up. So you can put this here. I'm guessing that would have been interesting if they made it that, well, I guess that this becomes like a kneecap or a shoulder cap. I would have thought that it would have been interesting to make this turn so it becomes like a face on a knee. That would have been really cool, but it's all right either way. It's still nice. And let's see here. Transform. Put these together. And we got the arm. The arm of Slag. Slag arm. And put these there. Oh, there we go. At least the arms, the legs store pretty well. They do hang off a bit. There's nothing to clip them in. But they at least have a place to go. And they don't look too obtrusive. So it's still pretty good. You can easily see these on there. But so turn this like this. And we go up. There we go. And we got oh, damn it, I forgot. We could do this. Here, we can put the tail in. That's actually nice. Hasbro and Takara really did something decent for once. Look at that. See? So at least you don't have too much of a hollow gap there. You can move the feet like that. And that's excellent. The knee joint there turning is so that way you can put the foot backward and have it hold in. I'm impressed by that. That actually is pretty good. So then we get this together. There we go. We put the fist. Power fist. And we see that's kind of difficult to pull out. And there we go. The hand, arm, arm. Not a bad arm. I mean, it looks pretty nice. I still always find that these gaps are kind of weird on the toys. They work fine, but like one day I would like to see Hasbro come up with some sort of innovative trick with this. If they want to still do combiners in the future, this doesn't sometimes hold in tightly together that well and can pop out a bit, it seems. But that's pretty awesome. I like this. And you can even push this in if you want still, or leave it out like that. So, very nice. I don't understand how. Okay, now I understand how. For the leg, there is another peg over here. So, it's not that you have to do some weird transformation with the legs or anything like that. You just have to collapse these in. This is a great figure in my opinion. I like it. I'm satisfied. I feel like I'm getting something that kind of reminds me of what I liked about Monstructor when I was a kid, but with a Dinobot flavor and with some of the more modern complexity of newer toys and Combiner Wars put together. I can easily see this guy being retooled into Bristleback, and that's why I'm saying this. And you put this there, put that there, see? So you're pretty much accommodated for in every mode in a sense. If you feel that this part is too small, I guess you can lay these down like that and add some extra weight, or even use these as like maybe as like spurs or something, or you could put it like this. I don't know. You can do whatever you like for those type of parts, right? I guess that this is ideal for that. So there's the leg. We take this out. Then again, I forgot we had to use another guy's foot spur. So we'll use Star Screams, and it holds a lot tighter than it does on Jazz. It's still a little loose. It still spins and falls. See that? Look. See? But it's still not bad. I wish it was a bit tighter. This is making me really wish that I had already bought Grimlock though, because this is awesome. I like it. For the price that it is, it's pretty cool. It feels a lot of fun. I mean, the Combiner might look wacky to some people and stuff, but you know, with Hasbro, you're always going to expect retail figures to have some cost cutting or limitations. But the designers still did a good job with the limitations that they had, which means that you could tell that thought was put into these and that some care was put into them. So in my opinion, they're awesome for what they are. You have to appreciate them for what you're going to expect going in. And look at that, even that actually can supplement the knees. It shows clever engineering on the part of Takara and Hasbro, which is great because, you know, Power Master limbs, right? There we go, Power Master. So, anyways, I would give this guy, I guess, an 8 out of 10. He fixes a lot of problems that early Combiner Wars toys have by having a much more complex transformation, being more fun. He just kind of loses points for the fact that, oh, there we go. See, that's how the head probably, you can adjust it so that way it sticks out a bit and it doesn't look stupid. He loses points in the sense that, I don't know, this is unpainted here and that kind of bugs me. And he just loses points because the mouth is kind of weird. They could have done something here to make it open up on a secondary joint maybe. But then that would probably have risked this. I really can't really say much bad about him because I feel that he improves a lot of stuff that the older toys had, that the older Combiner Wars figures had problems with. the sacrifice of a sword, the weird opening of the mouth, the fact that when you unlock this to raise it up, it still doesn't have like a location to lock into. Once you do that, is another thing that is a detracting point in my opinion. And with the clear, I guess like the parts that feel completely clear that lose detail, like the horn, that might bug some people. Other people might like it. I personally really like it, so to me it's not a detraction. The legs kind of, you have to make sure that they get together well or they'll pop. So yeah, I'd say 8 out of 10. Decent, lots of surprises, articulation on the legs, which was much more than expected. Overall, this is a great figure and very impressive offering from Hasbro. I'd say that it's definitely worth the deluxe price point. And that's Skullgrin out. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future toy reviews. Alright, everyone. I'll probably try the Prime Masters on them at another time, because this review was pretty long and got into in depth a lot about the toy and the figure. Okay, guys, see ya.